YouTube? Back at you again with another video. So today, man, what we're gonna do is we're gonna upgrade my rubber brake lines to some steel braided lines. And the steel braided lines is not actually for CBR650R, it's for CBR600RR. Let that sink in. But from the research I've done on the CBR forums, they all fit. So yeah, we're gonna install it on this bike today. So far I have the rear. The front was gonna come in tomorrow. Order them off of their website. So yeah. All right, so before we continue, I have to put in a disclaimer. I highly recommend, if you do not know how to do this, to take your bike to a professional. This is the brakes we're talking about. And if you value your life and the substance of life, have your brakes done by a professional. I have some experience with brakes, so I feel I have the confidence to do this video today. Let's continue. Here, if I'm not mistaken, this is also an 8. And then once I know that there is nothing in the actual brake line itself, I got to take off the rear hugger to take off this portion of the brake line, and then I'll remove the brake line itself, and then I'll install the new rear brake line, steel braided line back here. Only concern I have so far is that this tucks in here. This part tucks in, and I don't know how I'm gonna avoid that with the new one. And I don't see any brackets or anything to hold the new steel braided line in this general area. So yeah, so let me take off the rear hugger and then bleed the brakes and then go from there. To take this top part off, I'll need a Phillips, but I'll do that next. Now I want to focus on bleeding. So let me see. Yeah, it's an 8. So what I'm gonna do now is I bought this at Harbor Freight for like 15 bucks. I'm just basically gonna put this on here. I'm gonna open the bleed screw with an adjustable wrench, and then I'm gonna pull this until it sucks out all of the brake fluid out of here. But as you can see, I loosened up the 2 screws on the top. So let me just take this cap off real quick. Yeah, all this is gonna move. I don't want it to pull on the ground, but that one's off, that one's off. Okay, so there we go. Yeah, it's pulling on the ground, but basically pull this all the way off. Set this aside. Just set it right here, along with this bolt, because I know they go together, so I don't lose anything. And then now, this is the hardest part to do with one hand, but basically I'm just gonna loosen the bleed screw with the adjustable wrench, and then I'm gonna pull on this gun trigger until all of the brake fluid comes out. Yeah, so as you can see, the brake fluid is traveling down into the reservoir. The pump actually does not work. It's not pulling enough of the brake fluid into the canister. So I'm just gonna pump the brakes and get it to go out. But like I said, I can't do it with one hand here, another hand holding the camera, another hand pumping the brakes. Now that I got the rear brake completely bled out, let me move it to the side now before I forget. All right, so use a towel, man, use precaution. Because once you take this off, the brake fluid is going to want to drain down. I have another towel on standby, and this towel I'm going to use to clean up any of the extra excess brake fluid, any of the excess brake fluid that falls off after this. So you're going to need a 10mm to take this one off. So let me go grab one real quick. All right, so I just broke it loose. It's finger tight now, but I'm just going to leave it loose. I want to take off the rear tire hugger, and I want to take off this bracket that's holding the brake line in place back here. And then what I'll do is I'll take this one off I'll just loosen this one, and then I'll loosen this one, and then I'll just pull the whole brake line out as a unit. All right, so once you get the rear hugger off, this is what you're gonna be left with. So on this part, this piece here goes away, but I'm gonna try to retain this part. I'm gonna keep the bracket, but I'm gonna get rid of this part, and it's just an 8mm that's holding it in place. And then this screw here comes out. This bracket is gonna hold the brake line. When it's back here like this, this bracket is gonna hold the brake line in place. If need be, I'll zip tie it to this bracket, so that way I know it doesn't move, because if it touches the tire, I'm in trouble. This is what I got for the brake fluid that I'm gonna replace on the bike. And what comes in the package is this is the kit for the front and the rear. What's cool about Moto is they actually label their brake lines. So it says rear caliper. So this side goes to the caliper, and then this side goes to the front. And this side goes to the front where the pedal is, and then this side goes to the caliper. Easy. And then at the very top of the kit, you get your mount, your bracket mount. 6mm short. I don't know what that means. Oh, this goes with this. And then you got your brake lines themselves. I'm sorry, the bolts and banjos themselves. All right, guys, so I basically got the rear brake line completely removed. We're going to have it completely removed in a second here. Just take this part off. But I have a concern. This brake line is a whole lot longer than the new brake line. So that's a little worrisome to me. Let me see if I can get it to work. Yeah, I gotta do some measurements and calculations to see if I can get the brake line to work on the bike. Oh my God, guys. I was about to give up, but I got it. I couldn't put this on the inside. I had to put it on the outside. But hopefully if the bike ever goes down, this rear and these can protect this brake line from being damaged. It doesn't look clean like this, but I mean, this is the best I can do for what I have. So what I'm gonna do is, it came with like this little clamp thing. I'm gonna put the clamp here to hold this brake line in place, so it doesn't, move around while I'm riding. This rear brake line goes to a CBR600RR, and it fits the Honda CBR650R. So in case you're thinking, oh man, will it work? Can I get it for this bike? Absolutely, you can. All right, so let me continue on with this this install. I'm gonna go get that clamp for here, and then I'm gonna tighten down the rear tire hugger, and then focus on the front part of the bike. All right, guys, so now I have some brake fluid in the brake reservoir, and I have this rear brake line opened up, ready to go. I'm gonna pump the rear brake until all of the brake fluid is through the brake lines. So I got it completely bled. I had a little bit of casualty down there, but nevertheless, I got the brake fluid bled. And these are nice and tight. I've been checking for leaks, and no leaks so far. I had this filled the entire time, and as you guys can see, I put a lot of, at the very top is clear, so I put a lot of brake fluid in here just to make sure that I had no air in my brake lines. Because again, man, this is how you stop, and I would hate to be trying to stop and there's a little bit of air in my brake lines. But let me button all this back up together, and then we'll jump on the front. I'm pretty much all done. Oh man, it feels a lot firmer. Well, not a lot firmer, it feels the same firmness, but hopefully after I take it for a test spin, just gotta make sure it's not leaking anywhere. Thought that was leaked, but it's not. Okay, yeah, so I want to thank you guys for watching the Honda CBR650R rear steel braided line install, and I hope that you guys have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day.